अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, वेलकम बैक टू अनदर वीडियो। आज की वीडियो में हम एक नया टॉपिक लेके आए हैं। द डायवन इमेज है, ये एक पोइम है जिसको लिखा है विलियम ब्लेक ने, जो एक रोमांटिक पोइट था। द डायवन इमेज इज़ अ पोइम बाय द इंग्लिश पोइट विलियम ब्लेक। विलियम ब्लेक की पैदाइश हुई 1757 में और उसकी वफ़ात हुई 1827 में। ये जो है नज़म हमारी ली गई है, वो सॉन्ग्स ऑफ इनोसेंस एक किताब है, उससे ली गई है, जो कि 1794 में पब्लिश हुई थी। विलियम ब्लेक जो है वो रोमांटिक पोइट्री लिखते हैं और प्रोफेटिक वर्क्स उनके हैं। ये डायवन इमेज जो है वो ये 20 लाइन्स पोइम है, 5 इसके क्वार्टर्स हैं। सबसे पहले देखते हैं कि ये डायवन क्या चीज़ होती है। तो आप लोगों ने इंग्लिश विद रहील सर्च चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना है और ये वीडियो को एंड तक देखना है, ताकि आपको इसकी फुली एक्सप्लेनेशन, थीम्स, जो है इसकी क्रिटिकल अप्रिसिएशन, इसका जेनर, इसकी फॉर्म्स, इसका स्टाइल, हर चीज़ आपको अच्छे से मालूम हो जाएगी। तो बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए शुरू करते हैं। डायवन इमेज पोर्ट्रेज एन आइडियल वर्ल्ड। एक आइडियल वर्ल्ड के ये एक अक्कासी करता है। द पोएम प्रेजेंट 4 ट्रेडिशनल विचुअल्स। इस नज़म में 4 वाती जो है वो नेकियों के बारे में बात की, वो है मर्सी है, रहम है, पिटी, तरस खाना, पीस, अमन एंड लव और प्यार मोहब्बत। इन 4 चीज़ों जो विचुअल्स हैं इन पे बात की गई है विलियम ब्लेक ने, जो कि आइडियल पोइम है, आइडियल वर्ल्ड की जो है वो पोर्ट्रेज करती है, विच एग्जिस्ट इन ह्यूमन हार्ट, जो कि इंसानी दिल में मौजूद होती हैं, एंड कनेक्टेड विद द गॉड, और ये खुदा से हमें जोड़ती हैं। उसके बाद विलियम ब्लेक ने एक अदर पोइम लिखी, दूसरी पोइम लिखी, जिसमें ह्यूमन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट जो है वो सॉन्ग्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस से लिखी है। तो उसमें इसने कंट्रास्ट किया है विद द डायवन इमेज, इसे इसको कंट्रास्ट किया है। In fact, the original title of the human abstract was the human image. The main idea of this poem is that poem suggests that the image of God is reflected in human beings, not simply in Christian human, but rather in all of humankind. अब वो कह रहे हैं कि तमाम जो मज़हब है उसमें जो है अल्लाह ताला जो है ये गॉड है, उसकी उकासी जो है वो इंसान खुद करते हैं। ठीक है, अगर इंसानों में ये 4 चीज़ें पाई जाएँ, जैसा कि मर्सी है, पिटी है, पीस एंड लव है, तो ये कह रहे हैं तो खुदा अंदर से बोलता है अगर ये 4 चीज़ें मौजूद हों तो। आगे इसकी समरी देखते हैं। द डायवन इमेज डिस्क्राइब 4 डायवन विचुअल्स, मर्सी, पिटी, पीस एंड लव दैट मैन कैन अचीव। इनको इंसान जो है हासिल भी कर सकता है, अगर वो कोशिश करे तो फिर ही वो एक अच्छा इंसान बन सकता है। द पर्सनिफाइड फिगर्स ऑफ मर्सी, पिटी, पीस एंड लव आर लिस्टेड एज द 4 विचुअल्स ऑफ डिलाइट। The speaker states that all people pray to these in times of distress and thank them for blessing because they represent God or Father dear. They are also, however, the characteristics of man. Mercy is found in the human heart, pity in the human face, peace is a garment that envelops humans, and love exists in the human form or body. Therefore, all prayers to mercy, pity, peace, and love are directed not just to God, but to the human form Divan, which all people must love and respect regardless of their religion or culture. So इसके बाद हम देखते हैं इसकी फॉर्म और इसकी टून क्या है इस पोइम की। The poem has 5 stanzas in a ballad form. This means that stanzas are quatrains that have an alternation of 4 and 3 beats. The rhyme scheme is A B C B. So after that हम इसका जो है थीम देखते हैं, इस पोइम का थीम कैसा है और किसके मुतल्लिक़ है। One of the main themes of the Divan image is humankind's relationship with God. The lyrical voice praises both divinity and humanity and links them together. Thus, the virtues that are presented by the lyrical voice carry within them a divine side, but also a human aspect. God and man become inseparable, and because of that, mankind also turns into something worthy of praise, and all must love the human form. In Heathen the Turk or Jew, where mercy, love and pity well, there God is dwelling too. अब मर्ज इस जो है थीम में बता रहे हैं कि अगर किसी इंसान में चाहे वो किसी मज़हब का ये 4 चीज़ें पाई जाएँ तो ऐसा होता है जैसे खुदा खुद उसमें मौजूद हो। अब इसका जो है एक्सप्लेनेशन देखते हैं। स्टैंजा जो है 1 हमारे पास है, तो लाइन बाय लाइन एक्सप्लेनेशन करते हैं। स्टैंजा फर्स्ट शुरू करते हैं। टू मर्सी, पिटी, पीस एंड लव ऑल प्रे इन देयर डिस्ट्रेस। ये तमाम इंसान जो हैं वो अपनी मुश्किलात में अल्लाह ताला से रिजू करते हैं, मर्सी मांगते हैं, पिटी मांगते हैं, पीस एंड लव ये सारी चीज़ें मांगते हैं। एंड टू दीज virtues ऑफ डिलाइट रिटर्न देयर थैंकफुलनेस। और अगर जब जो सारी चीज़ें मिल जाती हैं तो बदले में वो अल्लाह ताला का गॉड का शुक्र अदा करते हैं। इसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन देखते हैं। द फर्स्ट स्टैंजा ऑफ द डायवन इमेज रिप्रेजेंट फोर virtues mercy, pity, peace and love. These virtues are capitalized as they are personified. To mercy, pity, peace and love all pray in their distress. मतलब ये चार चीज़ें जो है इनको पर्सनिफाई किया गया है, तो ये एज ए इंसान का काम कर रहे हैं तो इसको हम पर्सनिफिकेशन बोल देंगे। दिस पर्सनिफिकेशन रिफ्लेक्ट्स द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन डिविनिटी एंड ह्यूमैनिटी। Moreover, these virtues become objects of praise in case of distress and should be cherished and praised. All pray in their distress, return their thankfulness. Notice how the style of this stanza and the following one in the divine image have a clear and simple language that focuses on the images portrayed rather than on the language itself. उसके बाद सेकंड स्टैंजा हमारे पास है, फॉर मर्सी पीटी पीस एंड लव इज गॉड आवर फादर डियर एंड मर्सी पीटी पीस एंड लव is man his child and care. The second stanza links the virtues to God and to man. The lyrical voices references the virtues again and they are directly related to God. For mercy, pity, peace and love is God our Father dear. After that, these same virtues are related to man and mercy, pity, peace and love. Love is man, his child and care. Notice the repetition of the virtues and how they form a unity between divinity and humanity. This relationship between God and man is emphasized by the father-child relationship established after the mention of the two words. The bond between divinity and humanity is thus presented strongly. So next stanza 3. For mercy has a human heart, pity a human face, and love the human form divine, and peace the human dress. The third stanza of the divine image focuses on describing each of the virtues and how they relate to mankind. Notice that this is the first stanza where the virtues appear separated. The lyrical voice will list these virtues and assign them to a human form. Mercy has a human heart, pity a human face, love the human form divine, and peace the human dress. This change is the message of the poem emphasizes the characteristics of each virtue and their relation to man. Moreover, there are many repetitions of the word human that focus on their link to the virtues and their personification. So after that, we'll move to the stanza number 4. Then every man of every clime that prays in his distress, praise to the human form divine, love, mercy, pity, peace. The fourth stanza furthers on the link between the virtues and humanity. According to the lyrical voice, these virtues are always in every man of every clime in their prayers. Again, this furthers the human aspect of these virtues and continues building a strong relationship between humanity and divinity. This can be seen especially when the lyrical voice says that all prayers are to the human form divine. Notice how the then every man of every clime that prays in his distress, prays to the human form divine, love, mercy, pity, peace. Quatrain ends by repenting the virtues together as mentioned in the previous stanza of the divine image. So last stanza is there. And all must love the human form in heathen Turk or Jew, where mercy, love and pity well, their God is dwelling too. The final stanza of the divine image explains how all forms of humanity should be cherished. The lyrical voice mentions that all must love the human form in heathen Turk or Jew. This is because all forms of humanity are linked to divinity and consequently they are all important. Finally, the lyrical voice finished the poem by saying that three of these virtues, mercy, love and pity, coexist with God together. Where mercy, love and pity well, there God is dwelling too. This highlights this idea of inseparability between God and man presented in the previous quatrains. So last पे हम इसका एनालिसिस देख लेते हैं। This is one of the Blake's more rhetorical points in the collection. The speaker praises both God and man while asserting an identity between the two. The divine image thus differs from most of the other songs of Innocence, which deal with the emotional power of conventional Christian faith and the innocent belief in a supreme, benevolent, and protective God, rather than with the parallels between these transcendent realms and the realm of man. The poem uses personification to dramatize Christ's mediation between God and man. Beginning with the abstract qualities, the four virtues of mercy, pity, peace, and love, the poem makes these abstractions the object of human prayer and pity. The second stanza explains the somewhat strained notion by equating the virtues with God Himself, but the idea is still slightly underdogs, suggesting as it does that we pray to these abstract virtues because they are God, rather than praying to God because He has these sympathetic qualities. The poem seems to emphasize that mercy, pity, peace, and love are not God's characteristics, but His substance. They are precisely what we mean when we speak of God. The speaker now claims that mercy, pity, peace, and love are also equivalent to man. It is in humans that these qualities find a kind of embodiment, and they become a recognizable because their virtues, heart, face, body qualities are basically human. Thus, when we think of God, we are modeling Him after these ideal human qualities, and when people pray regardless of who or where they are, or to what God they think they are praying, they actually worship the human form divine. What is ideal or most godly in human beings. Blake's divine image is therefore a reversed one. The poem constructs God in the image of man rather, whereas in the Bible God creates man in His image. The implication that God is a mental creation reflects Blake's belief that all deities reside in the human breast. The poem does not explicitly mention Christ, but the four virtues that Blake assigns alternately to man and God are the ones conventionally associated with Jesus. Because Christ was both God and man, he becomes the vehicle for Blake's mediation between the two. But the fact that he is given an abstract rather than a human figuration underscores the elaborate intellectualization involved in Christian doctrine. Blake himself favors a more direct identification between what is human and what is divine. Thus, the companion poem in Songs of Experience, the human abstract, goes further toward exposing the elaborate institutions of religion as mental confabulation that obscure rather than honor the true identity of God and man. So this is all about today's lecture. We were discussing about the poem with the divine image written by William Blake, a romantic poet. So in this poem, the Blake mentioned four very beautiful virtues that are mercy, pity, peace, and love. We all should act upon these virtues, being a human and a Muslim. So this is all about today's lecture. If you have any query like about this poem, so you can simply ask me in comment box. So have a good day. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.